Alright boys, welcome back. Hoping you guys are all having a fabulous day. Here today I have a pretty cool video for you. So recently Miro released, I've been covering that a lot, but I wanted to show this to you, right? This is like the banner schedule for what TSH has had, and what it looks like for what you can kind of expect up and coming, because we know how our game works and how it operates. Trust me, we know by now. So with that being said, we're gonna jump into this. If you're new to the channel, like and subscribe. Let's jump into this. Let me show this to you. It is a pretty cool thing, so let's take a look. So this is it. This is what it looks like. This is the banner schedule. So I made this entire thing in a nice grid format. I use the Ultra Impact assets, by the way, but this is for TSH because, you know, TSH has no assets. Literally, we have nothing about the game. So that sucks. So I used the Ultra Impact assets. But what does this thing track? What does this thing do? We have the names of each character, right? We have the image of each character, the start date for when their banner initially launched, the end date for their banner, the prior rerun date, so whenever the rerun occurred for the first time, that's what that does, or like the prior, so whenever it actually happened before that, that's what it counts, and the appearance rate for it, and last but not least, the days since the last rerun. So that's what this tracks, and it does a pretty good job at it. So first, we started off the game with All Might, a great launch. The game launched around like 5:21. Within like 5 days of the game launching, they already started the first banner. AM, one of the best units, one of the most fun units. Everyone was super excited. The game was popping off. Endeavor rolled around, burnt the game down, blew it up. Everyone was raging, uninstalling, giving up. That was a great thing. That was a wonderful scene. I was there and I was like, wow, that was fast. It only took the game, let's say, up until 6:16. Let's say not even that, like 6:20-ish. That's when it automatically destroyed everything. So not bad, but that happened. Moving up, we had Aizawa right after that for a 1-week banner. We had Stain, we had Shigaraki, we had Hawks. That was all the new characters that launched at the beginning of the game. We then encountered our first rerun, which was only about 71 days from the game actually launching. Again, we had back-to-back brand new characters. Obviously, it's the case that we're gonna get a rerun. Happened, we were fine, everyone was okay. Then we had a brand new character back-to-back. We're like, oh, no way, it is going to be Dabi. We were like excited, super happy. And this was the point. And then after Dabi, this is when the game took a massive downhill spiral and just went bad because we were like, oh, so that's how they do it. Maybe it's like every 2 reruns you get a new character, or maybe every 3 reruns you get a new character, right? But after Dabi, that's not what happened, right? So we had Dabi. We then went into a 2-week rerun with Endeavor. Again, only 78 days from his actual initial release. That was fine. We then had Stain being only 71. That's fine too. We then had a 1-week rerun with Aizawa. So again, we went at this point 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 7 weeks, right? We then went into another 2-week rerun, which was the Apex Pro Heroes. So about almost 10 weeks of full reruns. That is what we encountered, right? And at this point, we didn't understand how this game operated. So at this point, we're like, oh, that's a lot of time. 10 weeks, no new character, no nothing, no announcement, no news. Like at this point, also, they weren't releasing any content. It was like the game was dead. The game was really dead. So that happened. Yeah. After that, massive announcement. WHM. We got WHM. We were super stoked. We were super excited. We had 7 weeks of content, 7 weeks of banners, 3 characters back to back, 3 brand new active cards, 1 passive card content, new bosses every 2 weeks. It was great. It was outstanding, right? Think about this now. This happened 11/3, okay? In 3 months or 3 months or so, it'll be a 1-year anniversary of WHM. That's nuts. That is nuts. So we had it right after WHM. Okay, that happened. Great. We excitedly partied. We enjoyed it. We then started a rerun cycle. And this is now where it also started to like scare us. We knew it was bound to be reruns. We knew that. So we were like ready for it. We're like, okay, Stain happened 2 weeks. It was 71 days. It did feel like Stain was kind of back to back, even though, you know, he wasn't. It was just because his banner was a 4-week freaking banner. Insanity. So that happened. Then again, All Might reran, right? 126 days, about 4-ish months. But he came back, right? That happened. Hawks. So here is where people panicked, right? We had Hawks again, and he was a 1-week banner. We then, so if you think about it, 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 1 week, 2 week, 2 week, 2 week, 2 week, 1 week. That is how much time it took us before we ended up getting a new character being Nejire. Think about that. 1 week. So again, if we add this to, Hawks, that's 2 weeks altogether. So 2 weeks plus 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 10 weeks, a little bit more, let's say now 12-ish weeks. It took that much time before they actually released a new character. And at this point, they also weren't releasing much. They said jam-packed April. They released Tag Team and gave up. That was their plan, and that was their entire thing. So again, this is where, I'm telling you now, this is where majority of the players quit the game and gave up on it. And like genuinely, like when you looked at it after WHM, the game was at a peak. It really was, yeah. And then it just downhill completely. But Nejire released, everyone was hyped for like 2 weeks. Then a rerun cycle started again, right? And I was like, okay, we just got a new character. If we do the math, 10 weeks is when we get a new character. I said that, people thought I was joking. Then it started again, right? 2 weeks for Stain. He just had released 57 days ago, but he was back again. Endeavor, 43 days ago, but he was back again. Hawks, 92 days, but he was back again. Shigaraki, 99 days, but he was back again. Aizawa, 71 days, back again. So if you look at it, just so you know, 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, and then if you want to consider it, 9 weeks. 9 weeks altogether. We then finally got a brand new character being Tamaki. So if you take a look into it, the pattern was 12 weeks, then it was 9 weeks. You'll see what the pattern is after this, right? So finally, new character, lasted 2 weeks. We had a blast. We then had Nejire rerun 78 days. That happened, so 2 weeks, right? Then, boom, WHM rerun, right? 211 days since they last appeared. Yeah, 211 days. That's nuts. But they did come back, right? So again, 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks. If you consider this now 9 weeks, consider this one 11 weeks. We then finally got a new character. So that is how TSH, I'm guessing, operates now moving forward. Again, I don't know if Dabi's next. I did include him here just to show you the value, that it was 211 days since he returned. That means if they don't release Dabi, in this upcoming week after Miro, he is the biggest character or like the character that just took so long to actually get a rerun. He is the only character that is achieving this. There's someone that's 219 or 218, right? 218 is this WHM combined, but kind of Bakugo was a little bit more also. But if he doesn't release, okay, in the next upcoming week or the one after, yeah, that's over for him. He's gonna be the most time before getting a rerun. So that is nuts. But altogether, you've seen it, right? The entire game philosophy is 9 to 12 weeks is rerun cycle. That is how it's going to go, right? And usually rerun cycle just goes like this, where it's AM, it'll then be Stain, it'll then be Endeavor, it will then be Hawks, Shigaraki, and then Dabi. That is how rerun cycle like literally always falls out to be. So up and coming, I'm going to say this now, it could either be Dabi or Stain. Most likely, given Stain hasn't released for a good amount of time now, it's going to be Stain, then Endeavor, then Hawks, then Shigaraki, then maybe we get a new character finally, then it's going to go back into that. So that is kind of what our game looks like on the banner schedule side of things. It's just, I don't know, it is a bit heavier on reruns. I know people say, hey, more time to save hero coins. I like that. Again, fully up to you. Save your hero coins, have a blast. But imagine someone who didn't want WHM, or rather not WHM, didn't want the big three, right? But imagine it's someone who just wants villains, right? He plays my hero for the villains, not the big three. That means that this person waiting for a new character has waited since Nejire. So Nejire released 3-2, okay? Not even that. Let's say he waited since the initial release of Dabi. So he summoned for Dabi 2-1. He's been waiting since 2-1 for a brand new character that's a villain. That means this guy has been sitting here for almost 6 months not getting his character, right? And now that we just got Miro, he's going to have to wait another, let's say, 10 weeks. So about almost 3 months with nothing. So this man has been almost waiting a year for a brand new character. That's a villain, right? Kind of nuts to think about. But that's just how we operate, I guess, over here. So that's what I wanted to show you here today. This is the banner schedule just to bring back all of this, show you memory lane, and also update you what the rerun cycle looks like. So again, it's usually All Might, Stain, Endeavor, Hawks, then Shigaraki, and then Dabi, and then it'll do like the big three most likely. So like Nejire, Tamaki, and then, you know, Miro. Again, we just got an Nejire rerun, so most likely Tamaki will be rerun first. So it matters, doesn't really, let's just go into that. With that being said, thank you for watching. That's what I got for you here today. I wanted to show you this entire thing. But that's it. Peace out, enjoy. That's been it for me. Have fun.